We have been receiving a lot of inquiries about student visa refusals. If you have been refused a student visa while you are onshore in Australia, you can appeal the decision. You appeal to the AAT. You usually only have 21 days from the date of refusal to appeal this. Once you have appealed this, you should get a bridging visa A to continue staying in Australia. To confirm your work rights or your study rights, you will need to check your bridging visa A. It will have all the conditions on there. If you have received a refusal, it's best to get in contact with your lawyer or agent ASAP to get the AAT lodged. We've been working hard on these registrations for the new 192 visa. This is a new permanent residency visa that allows people of Pacific Island countries and Timor-Leste to live and work in Australia. There are 10 eligible countries, which include Fiji, Timor-Leste, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Vanuatu. I'll drop a list in the comments below. Up to 3,000 visas can be granted yearly. Once you're registered, the department will go in and randomly select from the ballot, and you will need to meet the eligibility criteria before you apply. Let's talk about the DAMA agreement in South Australia. This state is my favourite of all for DAMA because the website is just super easy to navigate and it's easy to see which occupations are available and the eligibility criteria. So the good thing about DAMA is that there's lots of occupations available different to the medium-term and short-term occupation list. You can scroll down and have a look here. So for example, they have non-ANSCO occupations and you'll find a variety of occupations as you scroll through the list. So even log truck driver, and if you click on the little plus sign, you'll be able to see the eligibility requirements. Now for DAMA, you will need a sponsor. Depending on the occupation, it might be available in regional South Australia only or the whole of South Australia. So for example here, I'm looking at aged or disabled carer. So you'll need to find a business that has a genuine need to sponsor this occupation, and you can check out the eligibility criteria below. Now with DAMA, if the employer agrees to sponsor you, they'll first need to enter into the agreement with the state, then follow the process to sponsor you and nominate you in that position, and then you can lodge your visa application. As for your eligibility criteria, just check the checklist below. And the good thing about this is the age limit can be up to 55 years of age, and usually the requirements for the work experience in English is not as high as the normal 482 visa. So Western Australia is one of the first states to publish information about the state nomination program this financial year. It looks like they've been negotiating with the Department of Home Affairs and they've been allocated 5,000 seats for the skilled migration program. So that will be for the 190 and 491. It looks like they should start inviting soon as they get their formal allocation from the DHA. In other exciting news is the Western Australia DAMA program. So there is a clear skill shortage, and again, there is 5,000 seats for the Western Australia DAMA program. Some of the key industries that will be focused on is building and construction, healthcare, aged care, tourism, hospitality, and agriculture. So I saw this, which is quite interesting, so I wanted to talk about it. This person is a registered nurse. They didn't get invited in the last round, so they're wondering if they should study carpentry. They have 80 points, so that's pretty decent. So if you've already got a decent profile like that, should you go ahead and study something else like carpentry? Now, I'm not saying no to new qualifications and a new occupation that could make you eligible for an expression of interest. Because yes, carpenters and bricklayers were invited at 65 points. But the problem with an occupation that is a trade, like chef, carpentry, bricklayer, is regardless if you do the course, which may be 1 year, to get a positive skills assessment, you must do the job ready program, which means you have to work 1 year after your certificate full-time as a carpenter before you can get a skills assessment. Then you can make an expression of interest. So that is actually what you need to look at. So if they were to go for this, it would take them 2 years in total because you've got to study for 1 year and then work for 1 year. And they're probably already making good salary and have a pretty good career as a registered nurse. So when you look at the whole picture, probably sticking to registered nurse is better. This is for you if you've done a business degree and you want to migrate to Australia. So maybe you did a Bachelor of Business Administration or a Masters of Business Administration. And you may have heard that there is no PR pathway for these qualifications. Well, the good news is that's not true. I have had a number of clients get PR through this qualification, but it isn't straightforward. See, if you're looking to apply for a skilled visa or even employer-sponsored visas, you need to have the right qualifications and work experience. And when it comes to a business degree, you need to match that with the right occupation on the occupation list. And if you look at the occupation list, there's only a small number of occupations that relate to this business degree. For example, some of the more popular ones is management consultant, information and organizational analyst, information and organizational professional. And so the real bottleneck with these is once you graduate, you need to secure a job in one of these fields. That will allow you to gain the work experience required for a skills assessment, because for the skills assessment for this occupation, you must have work experience, unlike other qualifications like registered nurse or accounting. And so my clients who completed these degrees and went on to do similar work roles were able to be invited for permanent residency. Drop a comment below for what qualification you want to learn about next.